Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All right, Shalom, Mr. Brother Kanai from the Indianapolis camp. I want to start out by giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakotash. I want to give double honor to our apostle, elders, great millstone, that teach and rule well. Peace, better safe to the whole for that pushing this truth week in, week out. In sincerity, charity, and love, and the spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, throughout the four corners of the earth. All right? I just want to go into this video about be that brother, man. You know, be the brother that the Lord has called you to be, man. You know, our brotherhood, man, you know, is a precious thing, man, that we have to cherish. And we want to be that brother. We want to be that guy for that brother, man. You know, that's lacking, you know, or that's not as sharp as other brothers, or that needs a little building up, or needs a little bit of encouragement, you know. Sometimes, you know, you've been telling the brother something for a while, and it might have been your approach. You know, it might be the way you saying it. You know, you might be trying to go hard on a brother, but have in the back of your mind, too, what are you doing to help that brother? You know, are you really putting your foot forward to help this brother out through whatever circumstance he's going through? Are you really being brotherly? You know, we're supposed to be brotherly towards one another. You know, at the end of the day, you know, brothers might have wives, kids, you know, but really we're all we got, man, in this world. So we got to do right by each other while we got each other, man. You know, we can't be half-assing it with brothers, you know. You got to, like, truly have your foot in this thing being authentic, all right, and compassionate, all right, and reliable, you know. Be willing to give up your time for brothers. Be willing to change things around in your life for brothers. Be what the word is, be ready to be retroactive when it comes to this truth. You know? You have to be in the spirit of a willing vessel when it comes to the brotherhood, because nobody, look, your cousin Junebug, he ain't walking the walk you walking. All right, that heifer Tisha, you know, she don't care about your salvation. You know, most of your moms and dads, you know, they in the Christian, they don't care. But us brothers, we care, man. All right, I'm gonna jump into this book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 10. It says, "Be kindly affectionate one to another with brotherly love, in honor preferring one another." All right, so you're supposed to be preferring one another, man. All right, don't have that. Oh, here come this dude. Here come this brother. Don't be that brother. Oh man, all he gonna do is talk shit. Damn. Don't be the brother that'll never break a brother down but don't know how to build him back up. All right, you want to be preferred. You want to be honored. You know, when I go around the brothers, it's an honor to me. You know, no matter if they, you know, talking crap, not whatever. You know, I'm still honored to be around the men of the Lord. You know, because we all fall short, man. So that light that we see in our brothers sometimes is what keep us going. You know, it says, "Not slothful in business, fervent in spirit, serving the Lord, rejoicing in hope and patient tribulation, patient in tribulation, continuing instant in prayer." These are things that we're supposed to be doing, man. You know, rejoicing in hope, rejoicing in the faith of our salvation from Yahweh Shema Shai. We rejoicing in the deliverance that's coming to us, man. Rejoicing watching the rest of the world be destroyed while we are delivered. You know, rejoicing even in the tribulation and the hard times, knowing the easier times, knowing that the best times of our so-called lives is going to come, man. In the coming of Yahweh Shema Shai, we be beating up on those chariots, knowing that this was all worth it. All right, this fight against this flesh, this fight against the mind, it was all worth it, man. Sometimes your brother just need an encouraging word to just switch his whole mind frame, man. Just be that brother, man. I'm gonna jump to the book of Hebrews, chapter 13 and verse 1. Just let brotherly love continue. All right? So you're supposed to always be in the spirit of brotherly love, man. All right? Love is an action, man. All right? It's just not a verbal thing, you know? When you love somebody, you change. When you love somebody, you are on point when it comes to that person. That's what the love is, man. You know, and the scripture goes into what love is as well. But, you know, I'm just, these are some things that, you know, we have to act upon, man. I'm going to jump to the book of John, chapter 13 and verse 34. This is John 13 and 34. It says, a new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another as I have loved you, that ye also love one another. All right? But this shall all men know, that ye are my disciples, if you have a love for one another. So we're supposed to have that strong love for one another to the point where people don't have an understanding of how much love, you know, you have for the brotherhood. You know, if you in a relationship with a woman and she ain't never got jealous of the brotherhood, go harder, you know, or private members, or et cetera, et cetera. If nobody's ever felt like they was in competition with the brotherhood, go harder. Because everybody else in the world should feel like this come first. Everybody in the world should know that your brothers come first. So you might have to step your game up when it comes to being a brother, you know. And I have some beautiful and great brothers, you know, in my camp, you know, and in this truth as well, you know, who will drop everything, you know, and be brotherly towards brothers, you know, who are great examples of some of these scriptures that I'm reading, you know. I'm going to jump to 1 John. Chapter 4. It says, verse 7 says, beloved, let us love one another, for the love of Yahweh, and every one that loveth is born of Yahweh and knoweth Yahweh. He that loveth not knoweth not Yahweh, for Yahweh is love. All right, and that's what I'm saying, man. So to know Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, you gotta have love, man. All right, and this ain't no, you know, weird thing, you know, that the world try to make it out to be. This is like actual love that we have for one another, man. You know, that's why we actually on each other's toes with correction. You know, that's why we try to look out for each other. You know, and like I was saying, sometimes your approach might be wrong. Sometimes you think that I got to be rough with this brother because this brother was rough with him. You know, build your relationship up with your brothers also, man, to get to know them. All right? Don't mimic what you see another brother do with a brother. You learn that brother's spirit. All right? You learn his spirit. You be around him. All right? You see what your relationship builds up to be so that you can be able to be that person towards that brother. Because he might take harshness from this brother, you know, who he's probably known a little longer, whatever, but he's not going to receive it as well as he's receiving from this brother. And that's their relationship. You know, that's their spirit with one another. You know, learn your brother, learn his spirit, learn his reactions, learn his actions. You know. I'm gonna jump to John. Chapter 15 and verse 13. It says, greater love have no man than a man will lay down his life for his friends. All right? And to lay down your life for your friends, all right, Yahweh Shai died for us, man. Well, I'll be looking at this as a twofold, you know, and I'm just speaking as a man, you know, but lay down your life for your friend, man. Lay down everything you're doing. You know, I know brothers that have jumped out of box to go help brothers. You know, brothers that have left their families and for hours to go help brothers. Brothers on outings and brothers who have plans drop everything just to help brothers. But this, more going to, a brother actually giving up the ghost, for your brother. That's easier said than done. But that's the type of love that we have to have for one another. That we're willing to lay down our life for our brother. Like Yahweh Shai did for us, man. I'm going to jump to 1 Peter. I'm going to jump to 1 Peter. Chapter 3 and verse 8. It says, finally be ye all of one mind, having compassion. And one mind mean, we're all saying the same thing. Having compassion, having compassion one of another, and love as brethren. All right? So we're supposed to have compassion for one another, man. Not just tyrants for one another. We're supposed to have that love and compassion for this brotherhood, man, for our brothers. It says, be pitiful, but be courageous, not rendering evil for evil. All right, so you're not supposed to be, oh, he did me, I'm going to do this, I'm on him. I'm going to get my payback. Nah, man, it's your brother. Your brother did an evil deed to you, go to him and talk to him. A lot of us not even man enough to go tell a brother we was offended. We'll go tell another brother and another brother. And, then they turn into a backbiting situation. But we got to be man enough to talk to one another, not rendering evil for evil. It's against the scriptures. Or rarely for brethren, but counterwise, blessing, knowing that ye are thereunto called, that ye should inherit the blessings. All right. So we got to be in a mind state of, letting the brother know, he offended you. Not rendering evil for evil, being courteous to one another, being nice to one another, man. All right? Jay, got to remember, man, you already out here in the world, and the whole world is fucking against you, man. And sometimes the only place you find comfort is with the brothers. You might find a little comfort with a little chick here and there, but your real comfort come from doing the work, and being around, your brothers. That's what you're most comfortable at, man. I had a brother say, they said, bro, a brother said, got on the brother, boy, you always go to sleep when you come around. But Jake wasn't in the man's spirit. This brother, that's what that brother that is most comfortable at, is with the brothers. One more, then I'm going to close it out. This is 1 Corinthians 12:26. And whether one member suffer, all the members suffer with it. Or one member be honored, all the members rejoice with it. All right? So if a brother is suffering, we all suffering. So we don't want us to all to be suffering. We need to help brothers out. And whatever it is you see a brother lacking, sometimes Jake just be, and the brother got to want it for himself as well. Let me say that too, man. Jake can push and push and push, but if a brother don't want it, then the pushing is non and void. All right? But still put that foot forward to see if he even want it. Put that foot forward to see if he can achieve it. I'm not saying you got to kiss Jake's ass or hold Jake's hand, but walk with Jake down some of these paths, before you condemn and judge him. That's why that's why I learned this lesson, be that brother. Being that brother is the guy who was willing give up his time. The guy who's willing to go the extra mile, take that extra step. You know? So Lord, when this was edifying to the body, and with that, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakadash. Double honor to our apostle, others, great minister on that teacher who well. Peace, man, safe to the hopeful, like pushing this truth week in, week out. In sincerity, love, in the spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem, Shai throughout the four corners of the earth. With that, I want to say shalom.